about nesting of conditional statement in this session. Okay, nesting of conditional statements. Okay, so we know that conditional statements are what? If is a conditional statement, and we have if else combination. You can have just if, right? You can have just if condition or multiple if conditions, only if conditions without else, right? So only if conditions without else, or you can have if and else combination. You can have if else combination. Also we can have multiple if else combinations, right? If else, again if else, again if else, right? If else, like this. So it's all about multiple conditions and at last else. Okay, and we'll break it here, and no more if again. Okay, so this is what called if else later. So these are like, you know, the combinations. You can just have a simple if condition without having else. It's all depends on the requirements that you are working with. Okay, so there is no else case, there is no else case. If the condition met, then do it, otherwise just leave it. Then you can go with if condition. Like, so if you have multiple if conditions without else, just you keep writing this. Okay, the syntaxes are something like simple condition and what. So that's it. Again, condition and condition and the body, right? Separate. So this, like, you can have, it all depends on the requirements. Okay, if condition with this block of code, multiple if conditions, or if condition followed by else. So here you have condition block and you have else block. For else block, we don't have any condition. If the condition is true, then this block of code is going to execute. If the condition is not true, then automatically it comes to else block and it executes. Again, the condition evaluation or condition is not required for the else case. If the condition is not satisfied, then automatically this executes. And the other thing is we have ladder, we call it as if else ladder. This is like multiple if else, combination of multiple if else. So this, if you look at this, is if, and this else belongs to this particular if condition. Okay, and we know already if we have only one statement, then we don't need bracket. So that is the reason. So this whole thing will be considered as a single statement, because we are not going to terminate with the semicolon here or here, right? So we consider this all a single statement. So as part of this else, we have all this stuff. What we have, again, one more if condition and else, one more if, and we have condition else. Okay, if condition, else if condition, again. So else if, again condition, we need a block of code, and again if condition. It goes like this. This is what called ladder. So it can have like this. Finally, no condition, directly else. So this is what where it is going to end up. Okay, so no more ifs. So if none of these satisfied, then finally it is going to execute this else block. Okay, these are different combinations of your if else conditional statements. Now we can also have nested conditional statements. Nested conditional statements. When I say nested conditional statements, so we can have if condition, if condition, if condition, if condition. Inside that, okay, this is what if, right? If block, and inside that I can have one more if condition. This is inside, not separate. Okay, meaning what? If the outer level condition is true, this is satisfied, then it gets inside and it's going to evaluate this. And if this condition evaluates to true, then it executes the lines of code inside this. And here you can have follow up else block for this if. Okay, So if you look at this else block is belongs to what? This particular if condition. And where is the else block for this if condition? That's what it's all depends. If you have something in the else case, yeah, you write it, otherwise you can ignore. So here if you have something, you can write else block. Now this else block belongs to what? This else block and this if block are a pack. This if block and this else block is a pack. So this is nested, this is inside, is part of outer if condition. So this is outer level, this is inner level, this is inner level. This is what nesting of conditional statements. So you can have again in the else block, again you have one more if condition. It's all requirements, as I said, depends on the requirement that you are working on. Okay, if it is required to have one more condition in the else case, yeah, you add it. So this is possible, this is possible. It can be only if, or if you have even else case also for this, then yes, you can have else also in this else block. Okay, so there is no rule that okay, we can't do it as part of else block, we can't do it as part of if block. Nesting can be done like as part of any block. Okay, let me write is just with the print statements, nothing more. um, okay, say for example, okay, so if the number is positive number, then calculate the number is even number or odd number. Okay, find out the number is even number or odd number. If it is a negative number, don't do anything, just say it is a negative number, and I'm not going to say whether it is a positive or negative. Okay, so just writing a program for that. Okay, um, okay, program to find the number is even number or odd number when it is a positive number. When it is a positive number, then only you write the program. Then only you calculate whether it is even number or odd number. Okay, find the number is even number or odd number only when it is a positive number. That's what the condition here, only when it is a positive number. Then what we do, is checking this. I'm just saving this to Java. So here let's take some number x equal to 50. Now my condition is what? If x is a positive number, if x is a positive number, then only you get inside. If it, x is a positive number, then only you get inside. Okay, just checking what? Positive number check. Okay, it's positive number check. So if it is a positive number, okay, x greater than 0, then only get inside. And now write the program or logic, okay, to find the even or odd. Okay, here I'm going to write the logic. So what is the logic for that? We know it. Okay, so if it is divisible by 2, and gives the remainder 0, okay, then it is what we can say, it is even number, right? System dot out println. So what I can say, okay, given number is even number. That's it, simple, right? The to calculate the even or not, this is what the logic, simple expression. If it is divisible by 2, meaning that the remainder is 0. When it is divisible by 2, then you can say it is what? It is even number. Otherwise, else, what I can say, else Yes, of course, it is odd number. Okay, it is odd number. Even number is odd number. A simple logic. Okay. So now I have written one if condition here. Okay, one if condition here. If the condition is satisfied, then only it gets inside and it executes this whole logic. Okay, because this is part of this block. And else, so do you have something? You implement it. Otherwise, just do nothing. So in this case, so not required to write else block at all. You don't need to write it if you don't have anything. If you have something, then you write the else block and you write it. Okay, so for now I'm just writing what system out println of I'll say given number is a negative number. Given number is a negative number. Okay, just I assumed the requirement like this, and based on that I have implemented the logic. Right? Any confusion around this? So here if you look at, okay, this is what my if block, and the respect to else block is this, and this if block and respect to else block. This is what nested. This if else conditional statements are nested here as part of outer if block. Perfect. Okay. Now so let me run this. Okay, so let me go let me search the folder. I'm compiling this. Okay, nested conditional statements. I'm compiling it. It's compiled. Now let me execute it. So given number is even number. It is saying that given number is even number. True. Is that true? Yes, 50 is a positive number. And of course, it is even number. Now let me give a different output, a different input. 55. 55 is a positive number, of course. 55 is a positive number. But it's a even number or odd number. It's an odd number. Given number is what? Odd number. Right? Given number is odd number. So this is printing now, because this condition is not satisfied. This condition is satisfied, but this is not satisfied. So it is coming into this and it is printing given number is odd number. So depends on the condition, it will route it. So it has to get inside this block, or it has to get inside this block, or it has to get inside this block. It's all depends on the conditional expression result. Okay, conditional expression results. Okay, now if I say some negative number, what will happen now? What will happen? So it's a negative number, so this condition itself goes wrong. Okay, well, it's to false, then directly it comes to else block and it's a given number is negative number. It doesn't execute any of this, right? So see that given number is a negative number. That's it. So this is all about, like, you can nest as per your requirement. You can nest at any number of levels, no restriction. Say for example, if it is odd number, okay, so just wanted to, my requirement is like, okay, is every odd number is a prime number or not? Okay, is every odd number is a primary number? So meaning that I'm going to write the logic here. Okay, I'm going to write the logic to check the number is a prime number or not, to check the number is prime number or not. So here I can write further logic in the else block. So meaning that I can use again if statement, I can use again a looping statement, while loop or for loop or something else to calculate whether the number is a prime number or not. The whole logic goes here. So that's what my intention here to let you know. Okay, we can have any number of nesting of the conditional statements. Of course, you can combine all these flow controls. You can use conditional statements, you can use iterative statements, you can use transfer statements all together to achieve your problem solution, to achieve the solution for your problem. Okay, that's what you can practice more examples. Okay, I'll give you a few more examples programs for practice. Okay. Anyhow, let's move on. Let's move on to, we'll come back to this program. Okay, once we are comfortable with the iterative statements. The iterative statements are what? Looping statements, right? Looping statements are iterative statements. Iterative, or also we can say looping statements. So these are the control statements that controls the logic to execute it again and again, or how many times you wanted to execute the same logic again and again. That's where the looping statements or iterative statements comes into the picture. So what are the different statements that we have? We have um, we have while, we have do while, do while, and for loop. Also we have enhanced for loop, enhanced for loop, enhanced for loop. Okay, enhanced for loop. Okay, so I'll come back to one more also. Okay, we need to discuss about switch case also here. Okay, I'll come back to that. So let's finish this. So iterative or looping statements: while, do while, for loop, enhanced for. So the what is the need of these iterative statements? What is the need of these iterative statements? I wanted to execute. I wanted to execute the same lines of code again and again. The same lines of logic I wanted to execute again and again. Then iterative statements. Okay. I wanted to execute a line of code, say for example, system out dot println. I'm not going to do anything, just I wanted to print hello, and I'm printing it is for the first time. Okay, hello one. Like this, I wanted to print. Okay, how many times I wanted to print? I wanted to print say 10 times. I wanted to print 10 times. Then I need to write 10 lines of code like this, right? Okay, then I have to write 10 lines of code like this: 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So how many lines of code I have to write? 10 lines of code. I have written 10 lines of code. 10 lines of, okay, println statements as part of iterative statements. So now I'm just part of printing hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, hello 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these 10 lines of code I'm writing, and this works or not? Of course, absolutely this works without having any issues, right? So, but is it a recommendable way of coding? That is what we are trying to understand here. So it will execute without having any issues, because it's just about a plain print logic, right?